Welcome to Inside the Jets. We are broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Eric Allen alongside my partner, Eric Coleman. Later in the show, we'll be joined by Jets cornerback Bless Austin. But welcome back, E.
Oh, it's good to be back. Had to handle some business last week. You guys held it down. I saw the show.
Yeah? Okay. And you were down in Texas, but now you're back in Florham Park. The Jets are 5-9 with 2 games remaining in the 2019 season. If you're a veteran in that locker room, what goes through your mind entering this final stretch? You're not making the playoffs. Seeding is not on the line or anything like that. What are you playing for these final 2 games?
Well, I mean, you have 2 opportunities to get better if you're a veteran. Two more games. That's 2 opportunities to show the world, to show this organization that you should be here. You should be a part of their future plans. This organization is moving in the right direction. And if you want to be a part of that, I mean, put it out there on the film. Go out there and finish the season strong and put some great tape out there.
Inside the Jets is presented by EY, Building a Better Working World. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman. You watched the game Thursday night in Baltimore. The Jets go down 42-21. Is Baltimore the best team in the National Football League right now?
I mean, right now they are. They play great defense. They run the ball well. They have a special player at quarterback. With that being said, they're very beatable. Just like any other team in the league. I think watching that game, yes, it was a big difference in score, but there were a couple plays, there were a couple opportunities that the Jets had to keep it a close game. And if you make a play here, you don't give up a play there, who knows what the outcome of the game is.
The Jets had only 7 points at halftime, despite reaching the Baltimore 31, missed field goal. They got a touchdown on their second drive down there. Got to the Baltimore 7, turned it over on downs, and then finally the Baltimore 25-yard line, an interception by Sam Darnold. So there were opportunities there. In fact, the green and white outgained the Ravens in the first half. They had nearly 200 yards of offense.
Well, I mean, that's something that when you look back at it, yes, you're going to be frustrated that you had some missed opportunities, but at the same time, you were in position to make plays. You were in position to be a part of this game, to be competitive in this game, and those opportunities were missed. The good teams take advantage of those opportunities. The teams that have something to improve on, leave it out there. So, I think that this is a coaching point for the Jets. I think it's something that's going to help them grow. And as these young players continue to mature, it's just only going to get better.
Okay, so what do you make of Baltimore getting 218 yards on the ground against a defense that has been so stout against the run? Is it just a blip on the radar because they are so unique? You are never going to see a team like that over the final 2 weeks of the season, of course. I mean, I shouldn't say never. I mean, you only got 2 games left.
Yeah, well, no one else in the league has Lamar Jackson, and no one else has an offense created around such a special player. I mean, I was watching the film. They were running veer power option, and it was like, I ran that in high school. When I was like the star player on the team and there was nothing else. They were running plays that were old school. They were doing it well. They have an extra running back
old
at the
school.
quarterback position.
I know we don't have the chalkboard in front of us, the whiteboard, but break that down for people listening to this on ESPN New York right now.
Well, the veer play is something that like Vince Lombardi ran. It's back like Army days. Army Navy runs the veer offense, and it's when Lamar Jackson has the ball, he puts the ball into the belly of the running back, running into that B gap. If the defensive end or that outside linebacker collapses on the run, the quarterback's going to pull it and run around the corner. If the defensive end stays outside, he's going to hand it off to the running back, and he's going to have a wide open lane to run the football. It's kind of like a pick your poison type offense, but the Baltimore Ravens have created this offense where they have the great offensive line. They have great perimeter blockers. They make the looks kind of crazy to where guys, it's hard to prepare for that when you're playing it once a year.
How hard is it to prepare for that when you had 2 days of prep? Monday and Tuesday, and the Jets didn't even have a full practice.
Yeah.
They went through a pair of walkthroughs before departing via train down to Baltimore.
Yeah, it's impossible, to ask, the guys to go out there and execute that game plan and to be that disciplined to be able to stop that option that they've never seen probably since their college days. And, it's a big order to ask. And when you add into that, when Lamar Jackson, there were a lot of times where the initial routes were covered when he dropped back to pass. They did a great job on the initial route. But now you have a special player back there who can pull the ball down, and he's a difference maker when he's in the open field.
What do you make on the other side of the ball, the Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold? I'm sitting there watching the game in the first half thinking, wow, this is one of his better performances. I know he turned it over 2 times, and that's the thing with Sam right now. He said, I can't have those 1 or 2 mistakes a game that are going to come back to haunt me. But overall, that's a very good Baltimore Ravens defense. He was down without Demaryius Thomas, and his tight end, Ryan Griffin, was just placed on injury reserve. So, again, a lot of moving parts offensively. I thought Darnold acquitted himself quite well.
I did too. I thought he managed the game well. He made some good decisions. Yes, he had the mistake at the end of the half where, maybe it was a miscommunication between he and a wide receiver.
Tight end Daniel Brown.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't have those miscommunications in the red zone specifically. I thought he's progressing as a quarterback. I think he's getting better with each game, and the sky's the limit for what he can do as a quarterback. And you imagine this. Imagine the offensive line being healthy. Imagine him having all of his weapons. There's a lot of possibilities that can happen with a healthy team.
Adam Gase was adamant about it after the game with the Ravens that he's improving week by week. I see little things in terms of details maybe that you all don't see, but he's going to become a really good player in the National Football League. Your thoughts?
I agree with it. I mean, you've seen him grow. You've seen the growth. He's not making the dumb mistakes where he's, instead of throwing the ball away, he'll try to throw into traffic. He's throwing those balls away. Yeah, yes, he may take a sack here or there where he's not supposed to, but overall, as a quarterback, as a leader of this team, his confidence is growing, his decision-making is improving, and, he's starting to throw the ball more accurately as well. So, I think Sam is taking some strides. It's all about getting guys healthy, keeping his weapons around him, and continuing to learn with each mistake.
I thought the Jets really got going offensively. First play, the second quarter, a 41-yard hookup with Jamison Crowder where Sam stepped up in the pocket again, moved to his right, then displayed that accuracy on the move. And then later on that drive, he goes back to Crowder. Crowder dropped a layup. I told him after the game, you have that pass in your hands 100 times from here now on. You're going to catch that ball 100 times.
Yeah.
But Darnold goes back to him the very next play and somehow completed an absolutely ridiculous pass.
Yeah, that was awesome that he had the opportunity to redeem himself. But, I mean, again, Darnold, everyone knows he's accurate on the run. That's his strength. He's a great mobile quarterback. He can throw on the run. But now, as you go into the offseason, as you go into the later part of the season, let's start working on the pocket presence. Let's start working on other aspects of your game to make you a complete quarterback. That's when you start to have a playoff contender. That's when you start to have an elite quarterback. And I think Sam is making those strides.
Now, the bottom line here is Sam Darnold missed 3 games earlier this season with mono. We know that. He's also worked with an offensive line that's had 2 starters at each position from left to right, from left tackle to right tackle. I just mentioned Ryan Griffin going to injury reserve. Ryan Griffin, tight end number 1 for the Jets, but let's think about Chris Herndon.
Yeah.
The connection Sam Darnold to Chris Herndon had in year 1. Herndon basically a lost season for him as well. Quincy Enunwa was figuring into the plans here way back in training camp. Unfortunately, he went down as well. Demaryius Thomas gets incorporated into the offense. He wasn't in the game. So you're seeing guys like Vincent Smith out there on the field in key situations for this team.
Well, I saw a stat that showed that the Jets have played over 70 players this season. And if that isn't a credit to the coaching staff of getting these young players prepared to step into roles that they weren't expected to play in, then I don't know what is. I think that the young players have done a great job of preparing themselves. I think the veterans have done a great job of showing leadership and bringing them along. And the coaches have done an excellent job of coaching and preparing these young players. I mean, we look look at our guest, Bless Austin, and you talk about that secondary, how many injuries they've had back there. I mean, Steve Jackson and Denard Wilson, they deserve a Christmas bonus of some sort for the job they've done with these young players, preparing them for these game-time situations, and they've done one heck of a job.
Can that be a silver lining for the New York Jets in 2019, considering Joe Douglas was hired as general manager in June, and now he's seen some of these young guys play? Brandon Copeland talked about it on a conference call today. He said you can look at each level of the defense. Kyle Phillips, undrafted free agent out of Tennessee. Lorenzo Faticasi, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, has become one of the better run stuffers in the National Football League, those defensive linemen. At the inside linebacker position, who would have ever thought that James Burgess and Neville Hewitt were starting for you and playing well at the inside linebacker position? And then Cope did talk about our guest tonight as well, and that is Bless Austin.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a tremendous job of preparing and having that next man up mentality, and it's just adding depth to the offseason. It's adding depth to the future, getting these young guys reps. When you're not making it to the playoffs, that's what you do. You get rid of guys who aren't going to be a part of your future. You give younger guys the opportunity. Well, because of injuries, these young guys have had a whole season of experience, and it's going to make things tough. Decision-making is going to be tough in the offseason. They're going to have to get rid of some guys who are making a ton of money because the younger guys can play as well.
Yeah.
So, it's going to put you in a tough position, but I think it's going to help and strengthen your team because of all this experience they're gaining.
All right, so the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming to MetLife Stadium on Sunday, and we're going to get into that matchup. The Jets will conclude the 2019 season up in Buffalo against the playoff-bound Bills, but we got a loaded show here tonight on Inside the Jets. We're going to come right back and be joined by the aforementioned Bless Austin. You are listening to Inside the Jets on ESPN New York.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
There's a chance your local Geico agent owns the same designer dog breed as you.
Wait, you own a Chihuahua too?
Half bulldog, half chihuahua, 100% lovable. Oh yeah.
So many wrinkles, such a tiny face.
But there's a better chance your local Geico agent could help you out with auto, homeowners, renters, or condo insurance. Motorcycle, boat, or RV insurance too. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a chic, wrinkle-faced pup to do that. Local Geico agents. Call or visit yours today.
You're invited to Super Bowl 54 in beautiful Miami for a once-in-a-lifetime football experience from NFL On Location, the official hospitality partner of the NFL. You'll meet NFL alumni, enjoy exciting pregame parties, watch the action from the 50-yard line, and celebrate on the field after the game. For easy one-stop planning and access to hotels and travel, let NFL On Location plan your ultimate Super Bowl experience. Secure your official access and the best seats at Hard Rock Stadium today. Visit NFLOnLocation.com.
Your 2019 Jets are built for action, just like the all-new 888 Casino. The fun never ends at 888. Top slots, live dealers, and big jackpots. Your ultimate online casino experience. Join today and get a $20 free bonus. No deposit needed. Play for real money anywhere in New Jersey at home or on the go. Go to 888casino.com on your iOS, Android, or PC to get your $20 free bonus now. JETS 888. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and physically located in the state of New Jersey to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
On game day, it takes an entire team to get the job done. Whether it's building the stadium, fixing the roads to get us here, or promoting economic development, the team we rely on is ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. They promote investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. ELEC, building the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Career success is in your future with a degree from Centenary University. 98% of Centenary alumni are employed or in graduate school 9 months after graduation. Hit the ground running with internships and career-focused programs like criminal justice, data analytics, education, equine studies, and sports management. Generous scholarships and grants are available at Centenary University. They're committed to your success. Learn more at www.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Darnold under some pressure, looks right, throws right, and it is caught down inside the 5. Tiptoeing inside the pylon is Crowder. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets Rewards members, don't forget to enter the code December in your Jets Rewards portal during the show to earn 100 points. You're listening to Inside the Jets. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman. We are broadcasting live at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Our player guest segment is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Now let's welcome in a man who was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. Bless Austin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Bless. Thanks so much for joining us. How was the weekend off? I mean, you're getting in a groove of things in the National Football League, playing a lot, and then a Thursday night game, and then get an extended break.
I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty refreshing, to have after, playing in like 5 or 6 consecutive games. So, to get a step back from everything and review the past a little bit, it was pretty cool to have.
And you talked about playing in 5 or 6 consecutive games. What has it been like to be back in the swing of things, be a part of the game plan? You were hurt before for the last 2 years, but now you're a part of the mix. You're part of the what goes on in the game. What has that been like for you?
I mean, it's been exciting, man. It's been interesting, too, because I remember early on when I started playing, I had to kind of relearn how to study, how to study for the game plan, which things was more important to know than others. I had to kind of decipher that throughout the weeks. So it was pretty interesting to realize, all right, this is my best way to study. This is how, comprehend the most out of the game plan. So going through that, it's pretty interesting to learn, how I was doing things from the past.
Well, let's get into your backstory, because I don't know if everybody is aware of what happened to you at Rutgers. Very productive player. Then 2017 comes. You're limited to 4 games, right?
Yeah.
ACL injury. Rehab. Get all the way back, 2018 season opener. Same ACL, correct?
Yep, correct.
End your college career. What was that like, and how were you able to overcome the adversity?
I mean, the first time, it was devastating, without a doubt, because I never been through anything like that. I never got surgery playing football as long as I did, so I wasn't sure I was going to bounce back the first time it happened to me. So, when it happened, I was actually thinking about declaring that year. I remember, always joking to my coaches, hey, this is my last year playing around. So when it happened, to be honest, the first thing that popped into my mind is, I got to come back another year. That was the first thing that crossed my mind. So, the first time, I went through it, it was hard, got over it. The second time it happened, I wasn't really, sweating it as much because I was pretty much like, I went through it. It's going to be a breeze, the second time. I just got to, be consistent with my rehab. So I wasn't really sweating it the second time as much.
But what is the rehab like after an ACL?
You kind of relearn how to do everything again as far as walking. And then when you start learning how to walk, you got to get the leg used to walking, a lot of mileage. And then there's the jogging phase, getting back in shape, getting the leg back. You atrophy a little bit in the leg. You lose a lot of weight. I remember being I was 195, man. I dropped to about 168 after surgery.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that come with it. Weight loss, your confidence, getting confidence back in the leg, explosion, power. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it, but you just got to have patience.
And so can you talk about what it was like getting back into football? Because when you're injured, people don't know this. When you're injured, yes, you're a part of the team. Yeah, you go to practice and meetings, but you're not really a part of the team because you're not practicing. You don't have those stories to tell. What was that like getting back into the swing of things, and what was it like being out with that injury?
I mean, it was pretty cool, man, because when I remember when I first started practicing, I felt comfortable being around everybody again. In a comfortable manner, because now I can look everybody in the face and like, all right, I'm sweating, I'm getting it in with y'all now. So I was pretty happy about that. When you're not practicing with the guys, you can feel like you're secluded a little bit. And not that they make you feel like that, but, you naturally feel like that because you're not out there physically putting in the work with them.
And what was it that got you through those times? I know it was tough, going to rehab, not going to meetings and not being a part of it. What got you through those phases of being injured?
I mean, I had a strong support system back home. And I got a mentor as well, Coach Corey Robinson. He always, pretty much, preached to me back my senior year in college about, you got to control the controllable. You can't try to control things you can't control. So I just took it a day at a time, and I didn't try to look too far ahead.
What was draft weekend like, though? Because you got taken in the 6th round.
Yeah.
I'm sure after the multiple injuries, maybe there was some uncertainty, but the one thing that always has stood out to me about you here earlier in your career is that you are a confident guy, and no matter what was going to happen, nothing was going to stop you from breaking down that door into the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew. I played in the Big Ten for a couple years, so I knew I had the talent I had what it takes to play at the next level. And I knew the type of talent I had and what everybody, said what I looked like. The coaches even told me, straight up, hey, you look like this type of dude, you look like that type of dude. Some of the best that played at where they was at. So, with them telling me that, I had the confidence that I was good enough to play. It was just a matter of getting there, staying healthy. So now that I'm healthy and I can play now I'm just happy I can put the talent on display.
So let's go to the scout team. I got to ask these stories about, because you're notorious for getting out there. Adam Gase said, listen, this guy, bless Austin, gave us fits. Then we had somebody here a couple weeks ago, actually on Inside the Jets, who said, yeah, Bless started mixing it up with Brian Winters. Brian Winters, pretty big dude, an offensive lineman. So when you started practicing in mid-October and you had been cleared, what's the mentality when you're going out there on the scout team?
Man, I got so much fire built up in me from the draft process, being out for so long. My passion that is for the game is at its highest level. I think it's as high as it could be, so every time I'm out there, I want to impose my will at all costs. As a bigger corner, I pride myself on being physical out there. I feel like it's not enough big corners that's embracing that physical role, so that's something that I want to embrace as a bigger dude playing the position. So, out there, I mean, you said it, man. I just want to impose my will, whoever it is. If it's a matchup that I like, I'm going to take that matchup. But, Brian Winters, that's not a matchup I like. So that wasn't a matchup I like, so I couldn't take that one.
So can you give us an inside look at your meeting room as a defensive back? Because, listen, there's been injuries throughout the whole secondary, but at the same time, guys are stepping up and they're playing and they're confident. What kind of chemistry, what kind of bond do you have with your coaches and the players that are in that room?
We have a great bond. One of the things that helped out is the fact that, I know my role as a rookie. I don't try to overstep my boundaries. I try to be seen instead of heard. So I just know my role. I ask questions, and then I lean on the guys, and I'm not afraid to show the guys, like, hey, I'm depending on you to help me out with this and that and the third. I don't try to, come across as a guy that know it all as a rookie. So I think the coaches and my teammates see that. So, that's why they embrace me.
I don't know who my bad, Eric.
No, you good.
I don't know who your mentor is, but he's, giving you some great knowledge, because there's a lot of young players that come into this league and they think that they have it figured out. They think that because of the prior success they had, because of the popularity they may have, that they have all the answers. But you seem like a guy who's humble, who's willing to take coaching, willing to take advice from other people, and I commend you for that. Keep up that.
You are a big cornerback, and I don't think people can truly appreciate that. I'm not just talking about size only. in terms of your height. Because pregame, Baltimore, he's out there. It's 20 degrees. He's got the cutoff shirt. You're broad, man. So how does that help you in terms of playing physical with receivers? Because you're not just a lanky guy. Because I think sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, Bless Austin, tall cornerback. No, you're pretty built up.
Yeah, I mean, during college, man, one of the knocks on me was I was a skinny dude. I had a skinny, lanky frame. So, you know, remember I've been hurt for 2 years, you know, right ACL. So, you know, I had 2 years upper body, a lot of upper body work. So I pretty much packed some weight on up top and then got the legs to catch up. So, you know, I got a little size to me now. I got a little bit more power to me now. So now I can really, like, impose my will when I'm hitting dudes. So, I mean, I just worked hard, honestly, put the weight on, put the work in, and now I'm able to take the punishment, too, that comes with being physical.
So when you go back and watch the game film, you know, the last 5-6 games that you've played, what are some things that you think that you need to work on as a corner? You know, is it the press? Is it off coverage? Is it coming off blocks? What are some things that you see from your game?
I think some of the things I need to do better, probably anticipating plays better, you know, being in the spot faster. You know, and that's things that just comes with experience.
Yeah, that comes with experience.
Yeah, it just comes with experience. You know, my coaches always make me aware of that because some of the times what can happen is a guy will go out there and try to anticipate things so much that you start playing out of the scheme. Mm-hmm. So that's not my playing style. That's not my game at all. I always try to play within the scheme. And, you know, I just trust that the coaches, they said it come with experience. So it's more, as much as these games I keep getting in, I trust that the plays will come eventually.
Inside the Jets is supported by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. You are listening to Inside the Jets on ESPN New York. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman. We're with Bless Austin. The Steelers played Sunday Night Football. Now, I know you're going to get separate cut-ups, and you're going to be studying on your own, also with the full defense and the defensive backs. With that being said, did you take a look at the game?
I took a look at a little bit of the game. Not too much of it. You know, I was pretty knocked out. Tired from the day, yeah, so I kind of took it down early.
And what do you think about the challenge ahead, moving on from Baltimore? Because I know you guys didn't play overall to your standards. And this is a completely different offense than the offense you just faced in Baltimore, of course.
Well, the thing that's going to help us out is, you know, Baltimore had a pretty different, you know, scheme when it comes as far as offense. You know, a lot of RPOs, read options. That's not something you see from every team in the league. So now it's pretty much back to, you know, the prototypical, you know, drop back passing game, under center, running the football, you know, Steelers football. So, you know, it's not easier to scout up for, but it's a little bit more to what you're used to doing. You know what I mean?
And so what was that like last week? You have a couple days to prepare for Baltimore. You know, an offense that's different than any other offense in the league. What was it like preparing for that? Did you have receivers or running backs playing quarterback during scout team? And, you know, like what can you pick up in those 2 days before the game?
I mean, it depends on your preparation. I mean, I felt like we had enough time to prepare, you know, as good as anyone. So, I mean, it's just a matter of that. The only difference is, you know, your eyes is that more important in the game like that, because, you know, you're running a lot of options. You know, your eyes gotta be in the right place and your feet gotta be in the right place as well. You know, just like that, you know, a big play could happen. We got a guy like Lamar Jackson at QB.
What do you think the preparation this week's gonna be like for the Steelers? Because you're gonna be facing a rookie quarterback in either Devlin Duck Hodges or maybe they go back to Mason Rudolph. We don't know at this point.
I mean, every quarterback in this league is respected. You know, everybody's a professional in this league, so we're going to go about practice the same way we always do. We're going to go work hard, you know, make sure our eyes are in the right place, you know, be consistent.
Yeah. Do you consider this, when you look at the final two games, people on the outside are going to be, hey, the Jets are out of it. These games don't matter. Tell us how much these two games matter for a guy like yourself, first year in the National Football League, getting his feet wet, cashing in on the opportunity right now, playing well, and now you have two final chances here in 2019.
I mean, these last two games don't mean a lot to me because of that. Like, individually, honestly, it means a lot to me because, you know, Buffalo's a team that just clinched the playoffs, so that's a playoff contending team. And then with the Steelers, they also a playoff contender as well. So, to get these last 2 wins, it would mean a lot, because those are 2 teams that's playing great football right now. And to get a win on those 2 teams, that would be great.
30 seconds here. What has it meant to you to play for a New York team, considering where you were raised?
I mean, it means the world to me to be able to represent my home state. It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, it's picture perfect. I mean, words can't even explain it for real. I'm trying to explain it, but I'm just getting choked up because, how surreal it is.
That's awesome.
You're doing the state proud, man. You're doing a great job.
Yep.
Good work.
Bless Austin. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and now he's making inroads in Florham Park, New Jersey for the New York Jets. Check them out Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to come right back here on Inside the Jets. You're listening to ESPN New York.
Whether you're kicking back after a busy day or just kicking off a night out, join them at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits located inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel in Florham Park, New Jersey. Sample all of your game day favorites from light snacks to locally sourced fare and enjoy a rotating selection of craft beers and local brews. Catch your favorite team on one of their 27 televisions. Challenge friends at a game of pool on 2 regulation-sized tables or gather around the fire pit on their outdoor patio. Visit Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits in Florham Park, New Jersey for your game day experience.
On game day, it takes an entire team to get the job done. Whether it's building a stadium, fixing the roads to get us here, or promoting economic development, the team we rely on is ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. They promote investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. ELEC, building the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
There's a chance your local Geico agent owns the same designer dog breed as you.
Wait, you own a Chihuahua too?
Half bulldog, half chihuahua, 100% lovable. Oh yeah.
So many wrinkles, such a tiny face.
But there's a better chance your local Geico agent could help you out with auto, homeowners, renters, or condo insurance. Motorcycle, boat, or RV insurance too. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a chic, wrinkle-faced pup to do that. Local Geico agents. Call or visit yours today.
Your 2019 Jets are built for action, just like the all-new 888 Casino. The fun never ends at 888. Top slots, live dealers, and big jackpots. Your ultimate online casino experience. Join today and get a $20 free bonus. No deposit needed. Play for real money anywhere in New Jersey at home or on the go. Go to 888casino.com on your iOS, Android, or PC to get your $20 free bonus now. JETS 888. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and physically located in the state of New Jersey to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
Cook has the punt blocked. The Jets get the block, and on the recovery, as Basham blocks it, falls into the arms of B.J. Bello, and he runs it in for a touchdown.
Inside the Jets, ESPN Radio. We're broadcasting live, Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman. Since we just heard from the great Bob Wischusen, I got lost in my thoughts. Listen, that was one of the positive things you could take out of that Baltimore game. I thought special teams was awfully good.
Yeah, they were. They did a great job in the return game. We just heard them blocking a punt. And there's nothing that changes the momentum of a game than blocking a punt. You know, that takes all the wind out of the opposing team, gives you the crowd gets them into the game. I blocked a couple of punts in in college. Never in the NFL, but it's a great feeling. Better than a touchdown.
Obviously, the Jets lost a Pro Bowl return man in Andre Roberts, who's now taking care of those duties for the Buffalo Bills. We'll see him in the season finale up there in Western New York. But listen, I thought the return game was at its best in 2019. Both Ty Montgomery and Vincent Smith were getting it going.
Yeah, they've done a great job this season, continuing that momentum from last year with Andre Roberts, Pro Bowl return man. Now you have two guys in Vincent Smith and Ty Montgomery who have done a great job in the return game, and that's just a credit to the special teams unit. They've been excellent. That's a selfless job. It's one of the tougher jobs on the field is blocking in the kickoff return game.
Now, you'd like to have that missed field goal back. You obviously had a block in there as well, but Lachlan Edwards goes under the radar as well. The punter had perhaps his finest game of the 2019 season.
Yeah, I mean, having a punter that can flip the field, that can, give you those extra yards on defense is a huge bonus. For that field position game is a game that we seldom talk about. What part of the field did they start the drive with? And then when you have a defense like the Jets defense, you need everything that you can get, to give them an opportunity to get a 3 and out, get the ball back to your offense with great field position.
The Jets Steelers Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Le'Veon Bell will be the headliner here. What do you make of his first season in green and white? 204 carries, 676 yards rushing, about 3.3 yards a pop, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He's also pitched in the receiving game, 57 catches, 404 yards receiving for Le'Veon Bell, and 1 touchdown.
Well, I mean, when you look at the stats, they're underwhelming. It's something that you expect a lot more from Le'Veon Bell. But when you go back and watch the film and you watch the effort that he's putting in, he's fighting for every yard. And this guy has not given up on the season. He hasn't given up on this team. And it's he's a great leader. And I think he's a great asset to this team. And I think that he will only help them moving forward.
What was different about the run game against the Baltimore Ravens? Because that was his season high for Le'Veon Bell with 87 yards on the ground.
Well, they were committed to the run. I thought the offensive line did a great job of getting to the second level. Obviously Sam Darnold throwing the ball efficiently helps things as well. But, Le'Veon was running tough. You obviously wish he can get more opportunities, but, running the football, it takes, you have to have a lead. You can't be, 14, 21 points below and running the football continuously. So, if they can find a way to convert those drives into touchdowns, I think Le'Veon Bell becomes more of a part of the offense.
What do you think it's going to mean for Bell this week to face his former club, the team that drafted him in the Steelers?
It's going to be an emotional game for him. I remember my first time playing against the Jets. A team that I loved. A team that I came into the league playing for. Playing against them for the first time. You want to do all you can to show them what they're missing. You want to give your best effort. You want to. You're gonna have those relationships before the game. Of course, guys are going to come up and give you hugs. But when the game starts, they're your mortal enemy, and you want to back the team that you're playing for. You want to show them why they missed out on having you a part of their team.
How about the attention he's going to get this week? Because he's a star in the National Football League, and you know what it's like when there's media availability on Wednesday and Thursday or whenever he decides to talk. You're going to have people from Pittsburgh up here asking him some questions.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be tough. He's going to have to, revisit a lot of relationships, answer a lot of old questions that I'm sure, he doesn't want to talk about right now because it has nothing to do with the Jets moving forward in their position. But it's something that you have to do as a pro. We're in the New York media. We're going to have a lot more media attention than another small market team would. And he's a professional. He does great with the media. He's an entertainer. He understands that they have to do their job.
What do you think of the way Bell has navigated all this stuff that comes with playing in New York and playing for the Jets? Obviously in Pittsburgh, that's a national brand as well. But when you come to a new team, all eyes upon you. And even though I know he hasn't got the numbers he would have wanted, and I know on the other side of the spectrum, Adam Gase is probably frustrated that the Jets haven't been able to get him to the second level as much as he's wanted.
Yeah.
With that being said, guy's been super positive all year.
I love how his attitude. He is sticking to his personality. Whether the Jets are playing bad, whether they're winning, whether they're losing, he still is the same person. And he believes in himself. He believes in this team. Even when he goes through faces some awkward questions and faces some controversy, he's still Le'Veon, and he still gives that personality. And I give him a lot of credit for his attitude this year. He's been nothing but an example of how to carry yourself as a player.
And I think it also proves that you can love football but also have other interests as well. I think sometimes we want you guys, a former player, to be a robot, that these guys got to go home 24 hours a day, study the film, never go out, never play putt-putt golf or whatever, never take in a concert. Why I brought up putt-putt golf is because it's just, he went bowling the other night. I know much was made of that, and you can have your own opinion on that. But the thing about Le'Veon is anything that he does, he puts himself 100% into. And you can have other interests in football.
And you should. That's healthy to have other interests. I'm sure that, listen, if you're an attorney, if you're, whatever your occupation is, you want something to get away from the game.
Yeah.
When I was playing, all my friends that I hung out with were not football players. They were police officers. They did something else where I could get away from the game and have a chance to separate from the sport. And I think it's important for guys to have hobbies, guys to have other interests outside of the game. Yes, you take your job serious. Yes, you study your film. You take care of your body. You do all the things that are required of you as a player and then some. But you have to have an outlet as well.
We've talked about this before. I thought Bell, for whatever reason, it was an easy narrative to say he's the same kind of guy as Antonio Brown. I don't know Antonio Brown, but these guys have totally different personnel.
Yeah, they're in different classes. I think Le'Veon is a very much a professional. He had to make a business decision last year, which he thought was best for himself, his family, his future in this game. And I don't think that you should demonize him for that. I think that he made the right decision for him. He's come back. He's been a professional. He's trained hard. He came back in shape. He was motivated. You can't knock him. You can't. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, yes, you're going to be frustrated because he's one of the better players in the league, and you missed out on a season with him. But at the same time, you have to respect his professional opinion and what he did.
What do you think at the end of the day, after these two games are done, Le'Veon will take from this year? Because obviously he would have wanted the team to win more. Mm-hmm. And he would have wanted to help more, meaning not in a selfish way, but Le'Veon's the kind of guy that's like, hey, just give me the ball because I want to help you guys as much as I can. After sitting out a year and then signing here, what do you think he's going to be like when he gets a chance to reflect on 2019?
I think that he's going to be extra motivated, to come back in 2020 and have an even better year. He's going to be a better leader for it, helping his offensive line get better. He understands. I think this season more than any helps you understand that this is a team sport and that everyone has to be clicking on all cylinders for your team to be effective, to be a winner, especially in this division that's so competitive. So I think he's going to be a great teammate. He's going to push guys in the offseason, and he's going to be better for it.
And I don't care how good of a back you are. If you're dealing with the problems the Jets had up front this season, you're likely to struggle. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I challenge any running back, to any player, to step into a position where, you go into the season with these high expectations, with all these great players, all these key role players and star players, and then everyone gets hurt, and then expect the same result. I think, from what this team has done, the injury they sustained, I thought they fought back very tough. They never quit on games. They always fought hard. They got better every game. And, you have to give credit to these players, the veterans on the team, the young players, and the coaching staff.
I would imagine both the Steelers fans and the Jets fans who are at MetLife Stadium this weekend are going to give a tremendous applause to Bell, because if you're a Steelers fan, that guy left it out there on the field for you, and you experienced a lot of success because of 2-6.
Yeah, you should. Give him his credit, pay him his respect, because he gave everything to that organization. And to the point where, listen, He's going out there on a franchise tag. He understands that he has a future in this game. He knows how he approaches the game. He wants the ball every time. If he's not getting it handed off, he wants to catch it. That's the kind of way he attacks the game, and he understands that if he's going to go out there and give it his all, he's going to leave himself exposed.
And I think it's way too early to write this guy off, because I think the easy thing to do is look at his numbers from 2019 and say he can't do it anymore. I don't see that.
Yeah, you'd be making a mistake if you thought that he can't get back to 1,500 plus yards as total offense, 2,000 yards rushing and receiving. This guy still has all the juice left that he had before.
Yeah, the man nicknamed Juice, I believe, still has plenty of juice left. And let's see what happens Sunday, because that's a tough Ravens defense, and he got 87 yards on the ground against them. I actually think after watching Pittsburgh and you look at their numbers, and we're going to dive into the matchup here in our final segment, Steelers defense might actually be better than the Ravens.
Yeah, there's something special over there. The way they turn the ball over, they force a ton of turnovers. They have great pass rush. They really can beat you at every level. So it's going to be a tall order for the Jets this week, and a good test of where they are.
Yep, and we are going to dive into the matchup in our final segment, and we'll be right back with that. You're listening to Inside the Jets on ESPN New York.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium, teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
Career success is in your future with a degree from Centenary University. 98% of Centenary alumni are employed or in graduate school 9 months after graduation. Hit the ground running with internships and career-focused programs like criminal justice, data analytics, education, equine studies, and sports management. Generous scholarships and grants are available at Centenary University. They're committed to your success. Learn more at www.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Bold statement. Saving money with Geico is almost better than watching football. Think about it. When you're watching the game, yelling at the quarterback to throw the ball, throw it, Williams is wide open, why are you doing this to me? Use that rocket arm, come on! They don't listen to you. But if you went into a Geico office and yelled, someone please help me save some money on car insurance, everyone would hop to it. Except the intern, because it's his first day and he doesn't even have a computer yet. See? Better. Switch and save with Geico. It's almost better than sports.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
You're invited to Super Bowl 54 in beautiful Miami for a once-in-a-lifetime football experience from NFL On Location, the official hospitality partner of the NFL. You'll meet NFL alumni, enjoy exciting pregame parties, watch the action from the 50-yard line, and celebrate on the field after the game. For easy one-stop planning and access to hotels and travel, let NFL On Location plan your ultimate Super Bowl experience. Secure your official access and the best seats at Hard Rock Stadium today. Visit NFLOnLocation.com.
On game day, it takes an entire team to get the job done. Whether it's building the stadium, fixing the roads to get us here, or promoting economic development, the team we rely on is ELAC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. They promote investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. ELAC, building the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Sam Darnold in the shotgun on a rollout to his right, steps up in the pocket, tucks it under, fires up the right seam, and he's got Crowder at the 30-yard line running left to the Raven 25. High steps to the 20, gets to the 15, out of bounds at the 10.
Remember, Jets fans, you can stream Inside the Jets live through the Jets app presented by M&T Bank. Go to the App Store or Google Play now and search official New York Jets. Eric Allen and Eric Coleman here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Will be here next Monday night. Want to thank Kyrie, who's doing an awesome job producing back in New York City. And, of course, Justin, who is here as well in Florham Park. Well, bless Austin, we had on earlier in the show. You said during a break, E, that he's already one of your favorite players. Why?
I love his mentality, man. He has a great outlook on life. And those injuries, battling through tough circumstances kind of help you get a better perspective on it. And, you know, the attitude that he takes in, you know, coming in here as a rookie, understanding he has a role to play, understanding that, you know, there's a certain way to go about preparing for a game and preparing your body. I love his attitude. You know, I think he's grateful for this opportunity, and I really do think he's going to develop into one of those players that's here for a very long time.
And, Eric, you played safety in the NFL, but I like the physical presence he brings at the cornerback position. He's feisty. He's big. Like he talked about overcoming those 2 ACL tears. He said he was living in the weight room. Well, you can tell his upper body he's a jacked up kid, and he's ready to go out there with bad intentions every week.
Yeah, he can move. He's physical. I mean, that really helps you. You know, I look at it as, you know, as a safety when I'm playing cover 2. You want a big corner that's going to make that receiver declare, am I blocking this guy or am I running a route? Because the first thing I do in playing cover 2 is I look out at my corner. What's going on? Is the receiver running a route or is he being blocked? If he's being blocked, I can close the space. You know, you're coming from 20 yards deep. So the closer you can get, the better when it's a run. So having a physical presence like that at that cornerback position really does help you. And it's nice to see a cornerback who will throw it up in there and be physical.
We broke down the Baltimore game. We're looking ahead to Jets-Steelers Sunday. With that Baltimore game, I was disappointed Jamal Adams didn't have the opportunity to go out there because Greg Williams would have certainly had a very big plan for this guy against Lamar Jackson, and he could have been a difference. I'm not saying the Jets would have won that ball game, but that defense would have played a lot better had he been on the field, especially against that offense.
Yeah, you know what? When I was watching the game at home, they were talking about how the Jets, it's one thing to have a spy for Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson is more athletic than your spy is, so it doesn't really matter. And I just kept thinking to myself, imagine if that spy was Jamal Adams. You know, yes, Lamar Jackson probably would have made him miss 1 or 2 times, but Jamal Adams would have got him down. He would have made him pay a few times and made him think about leaving that pocket.
Well, but that's the other point with Lamar Jackson. And we're not going to sit here and talk about Lamar for a long time, but he's a great player. That's what a lot of people in the NFL are wondering is not can he keep this up over a short period of time, is how many hits is he going to sustain, and is his style play sustainable? And I'm not taking a shot at anything he's doing on the field because he is a brilliant football player. And if you vote him MVP, you're not getting any disagreement from me. But it does have to concern you a little bit when your quarterback, he is your star, take some pops.
Yeah, anytime you have the star of your team, the identity of your team out there taking shots, out there taking risks, it's going to make you take a deep breath. You're going to be concerned about it. But, I think he does a good job of getting down. He did take a couple of shots last week. Neville Hewitt,
oh, my God.
Oh, man, he blasted him.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, he's not really taking those shots. He's getting out of bounds. He's getting down. And so, but at the same time, whenever your quarterback leaves the pocket, you're going to be concerned.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting what happens in the postseason here. The Jets could finish up with 3 consecutive playoff teams because Baltimore's already clinched the AFC North. Pittsburgh is right in the mix for a wild card, and the Buffalo Bills have already cemented their spot in the postseason.
Yeah, this is going to be a true test of this Jets team. They're playing against 3 playoff teams. You talk about the Ravens. The Steelers are going to be ready to go. Mike Tomlin, he's up for Coach of the Year this year, in my opinion. He's done one heck of a job coaching this team. He's on his 3rd quarterback. You lose possible future Hall of Famer in Ben Roethlisberger. Yep. You lose Juju Smith-Schuster, and you're still in the playoff hunt. It's an amazing job of coaching that Mike Tomlin has done, he and his staff. So it's going to be a big test this week and coming up next week going up to Buffalo.
It is amazing what Mike Tomlin has done in Pittsburgh. He was hired as head coach when he was 34 years old. 13 seasons later, the Pittsburgh Steelers have never finished under 500 under Tomlin.
Unbelievable.
Ever.
Unbelievable. And people take that for granted. And, whenever I've ever heard his name on the hot seat, it's made me angry. Because what coach do you know that has gone that long without having a losing season, done the job that he's done, been consistent every single year in creating winners? He has a great culture that he's had over there. It's just too bad they're going to have to come to New York and take an L this weekend.
What do you make of the predicament they're in without Roethlisberger? They've had some struggles at the quarterback position. Mason Rudolph, then they go to Devlin Duck Hodges. They had Hodges put the ball up a lot against the Buffalo Bills, kind of played into their hands because the Bills have arguably the best secondary in the National Football League. They come away with 4 interceptions, 4 sacks. I can't imagine they're going to stick to that game plan no matter who's lining up at quarterback. I would imagine Pittsburgh's going to come out and try to run the football.
Yeah,
James Conner.
Well, they're definitely going to have to run the football, but I think without having Ben Roethlisberger for a year, it gives you a preview of what life like after Ben. He's been threatening retirement for the last couple of years. He's getting older. He got drafted with me in 2004 with Eli Manning.
And you are old, Eric Coleman.
And I'm old. Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. These are all guys who are on their way out of the league. So at some point in time, Roethlisberger's going to take that next step.
But let's go to the defensive side of the ball. How about the matchup for Sam Darnold and company? These guys get after the quarterback. Bud Dupree, he's got 9.5 sacks, but he's not the headliner. How about T.J. Watt, 13.5 sacks, and then Minkah Fitzpatrick came over from the Miami Dolphins. Rookie season, he's got 5 picks.
Yeah,
you had 20 seconds.
They get after the quarterback. Minkah Fitzpatrick turns it over, has done a great job, but it's going to be another task for Sam Darnold to see how he can elevate his game.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm looking forward to this one because, as Brandon Copeland said today, listen, these guys are playing for their livelihoods right now. 2 games remaining for the New York Jets. We'll be back right here next week on Inside the Jets. On ESPN New York, though, Larry Hardesty is up next.
Selective Insurance is people, dedicated and tireless, passionate about digging in to be the difference. Our independent agents, working with us to offer the right protection, making businesses better, making communities safer, making lives whole.